I guess I'm live. Though, clearly I'm the only person here. Alright, so I am live. If no one shows up within enough time, I will stop being live. But I'm seeing what happens when I go live on this channel. Gonna play one of my own videos. It's very meta of me. Well, I don't want to do that. That might be copyrighted material. This is the second time I'm live streaming on this channel, just so that, people notice. Jackie Lopez. What's up, Jackie? Ridwang Michael Willong. Hello. Are you folks subscribers? Jackie Lopez. Good. Ridwin Michael Willong. Going to. Dr. Sean Murphy. I performed a CAT scan on Richard only to find that he has a microchip brain. Micros. Marlon the Gamer. Hi. What's up, folks? Dr. Sean here is unaware of the fact that it is not the size of the brain, but how you use it. And that is particularly true when brains are involved. Although, Dr. Sean, I'm sure your brain is delicious. Uh, Marlon the Gamer, who are you? I am Richard Leland Neal. I am an insane fat man trying to save the world. I do things like pay for ocean cleanup, feed orphans, and plant trees. And that is not a joke, those actually are things I do. So I am trying live streaming because it's not something I do on this channel. It's something I do on my regular channel, Richard Leland Neal, but that channel's not monetized. So live streaming on this channel may actually be more lucrative, which would give me more money to plant more trees, feed more orphans, and get more trash out of the ocean. Rodwin Michael Willong, God bless you for all that you do. Among my people, we have a saying, if not me, then who? And, after the October 7th attack, I was actually contacted by a rabbi who wished to speak to me about what was happening and how American Jews felt about Israel. And one of the things that we said to each other was, if not me, then who? And also, we are held to a higher standard, which incidentally comes from the Bible. It is in the book of James that Jews are held to a higher standard. So, I mean, I don't feel very blessed, but then that's the world we live in. So, does anybody have any questions? I mean, normally when I do a live stream, there are questions. People are bailing out, probably because I'm Jewish. I don't need hate mongers in this chat. Amen. I think we're all held by a higher standard. Um, you know, I don't think we're all held by a higher standard because in my life I've always been held by a different standard than others. In my family, in my education, in my work, that's always been a thing. I mean, I'm out here and I'm trying this and I'm doing all these things and it's always been really tough. I mean, I live in Los Angeles. If you don't know, uh, Los Angeles is on fire. It's not pretty. And, just dealing with the fires is one thing, but I'm also dealing with work situations and all kinds of things. Normally on this channel, I review movies and food. Genesis said that we are made in the image of God. I live in San Bernardino. Uh, Ridwin, I hope you're safe because the fires are everywhere now. Being every time I check the map, there are more fires. Although the concept of man being made in the image of God is one that I have never actually explored theologically. One of my spiritual counsel, believe it or not, is the nun I make donations through. Her name is Sister Margaret Farrell, and she is a chaplain to a homeless shelter in Los Angeles, and she takes my donations to a orphanage in Tijuana. So I'm feeding Mexican children, which I don't care the nationality of the children. It's not important. The important thing is that I am lessening the suffering in this world. Redwind Michael Long, no fire here yet, but San Diego got hit. Yeah, I mean, it's like there's the Pacific Palisades fire. Right next to it, there's another fire. Then across the mountains, there's the Eaton fire. And if that rain doesn't put the fire out, that would leave me personally only one route for evacuation um, the way things are going. So it is very possible that I could be hemmed in by fire. Now, I'm not hugely worried about that. We have things in place to protect ourselves, but then I'm one of those crazy people that would be like, I'm not leaving my home. So that's kind of the problem. So the internet says there are 15 of you. It's good to see you back, Jackie. I used to have a boss named Jackie. Short little thing, and everybody loved her. I hear she's doing real estate now. With all the suffering and catastrophes, I can't wait for heaven, a place where no more tears, pain, or suffering. Okay, just be aware that in the Bible, it would state that no one is currently No humans are currently in heaven. Okay, we are all waiting for the day of judgment. So you sit in purgatory until said day. This was told to me by a religious scholar who was an evangelical, and he actually had he was making a video game based on that, but it never did get made. Although I normally don't talk about religion on this channel. I'm going to be clear on that. That's I I do a lot of reading, of course. Every now and again, I do review books on this channel, but religion is not true. Moses, Enoch, and Elijah are there. Anyways, have a blessed night. You inspired me. Yeah, I have that effect on people, but thank you. So once again, this is kind of a user-generated thing. So this is, I guess, not a lot of people who know me terribly well are entering the chat. I really don't know what to do with these live stream things. It's something I've been trying very recently, and people say that they could sit and listen to me for hours and hours, but I kind of need something to go on. I mean, we could talk about just about anything. I have a very wide range of intelligence. Have a certain subject and talk about it. Yeah, I mean, I generally make videos for that. I mean, I have 6 channels and I have 6 blogs. And one of my blogs is this one back here, which is photographs of a Mad Richard. And this is a photograph of a leaf that fell on a car in a hotel parking lot. And it's a false color, which is why it's red. And it was raining that day, so you could see all the raindrops around it. And that's just one of those things I do. You know, like here's another false color of the same image. This is more true to life, although probably still some false colors. This um, is actually asphalt. Have you tried Jollibee fried chicken? Yes, I have, actually. I had it in Los Angeles on multiple occasions, and I have written reviews of it on my blog, Richard Reviews Everything. Which, I mean, here's one of my reviews. It's not Jollibee, but it is review of Green Giant carrots, and you can see that I have put these carrots with something of a reasonable meal. You have your pancakes, which are the starch. You have your sausage, which is the protein, and then you have the carrots. I really should have, to balance this meal, I should have a glass of water with it, which is one of the things I do try to do as often as possible is show the food as it should be eaten as opposed to how we actually eat it. So I should be putting a glass of water in there, but you know, like this is one of my earliest reviews. Is it's just a Granny Smith apple, and I went and I looked up Granny Smith apples and I read about them and I said, okay, this is what Granny Smith apples are like. I don't know if I have any good examples of what my blog should look like. This is the early stuff. Olive Garden, Olive Garden, Olive Garden. Okay, so I guess you guys can't really see this. These are reduced in size to fit the blog, but see here I've reviewed RC Cola. In addition to the RC Cola, I have a glass of water. The RC Cola constitutes the starch. You have chicken as the protein, and you have half the plate is, or more than half the plate in this case, is vegetables. And that is because I'm using the simplified My Plate in terms of nutrition. And I mean, here is a cider. It does not have a glass of water with it, but you know, you have protein and vegetables. Or this would actually be a pretty good example if I could blow it up bigger. This is, you know, pop cereal, and you have coffee, juice, and water. You have a hard-boiled egg as your protein there, in addition to the milk. And then there's broccoli and carrots. And it's just one of those things that I do is I'm always trying to show the food as it should be eaten, not as it is eaten, because we as human beings need a variety of nutrients. And when you examine how we eat food and what we do with food, food can be thought of as a medicine. In fact, I think it's Vietnamese culture where they have a proverb that says, when you eat vegetable, or when you eat it, it's vegetables, and when you're sick, it's medicine. Which follows the concept of natural healing. In many Asian cultures, the belief is that you eat what you treat. So that's why they have such a strange um, diversity, and they consume more of the animal than us. You know, it's like that's one of the reasons why you have bulldog soup. It's like, yes, why are you eating the bull's dong? Why would anyone eat the bull's dong? Are you that hungry? Are you certain? No, because eating the bull's dong theoretically gives you the virility of the bull. Okay. I mean, you know, it's one of those things. Bulls are very virulent, of course. You know, they go out there, and it's like that old joke. There's the son bull and the daddy bull, and the son bull says, "Hey, Dad, I got an idea. How about we run down the hill and bang one of them cows?" And you know, the daddy bull says, "I have a better idea, son. How about we walk down the hill and then bang all of those cows?" Bulls. Reminds me, there was a joke I wanted to tell on my other live stream. I didn't write this joke; somebody else did. This leprechaun comes into a bar and he orders a beer. He's sitting at the stool and he's drinking his beer, and he orders another beer and he drinks the other beer, and you know he's had a lot of beer, particularly for his size. Cheetos Bird, Rodwin, you in the Philippines or you talking about Jollibee US? Well, there's definitely Jollibee in the US. It's an interesting restaurant. But anyway, so you know, just he's sitting there at the bar, and he just goes, "Bah!" Barfs all over the place, and the bartender's like, "What the heck?" And this is, "Oh, I'm sorry, uh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry." And the bartender, like, he's mopping it up. Guy's bought a lot of beers, I guess, so the bartender's putting up with it. And you know, so he orders like two, three more beers, and he does it again. He just, "Bah!" And the bartender's like, "You stop that. You do that one more time, I'm going to rip your pants off and cut off your dong." And the leprechaun goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Don't worry, it won't happen again." And he orders a couple more beers. And, you know, sure enough, like a half hour later, he goes, "Blah!" and barfs all over the bar. The bartender is furious now. He grabs a knife that he uses to cut up limes, and he rips down the uh, leprechaun's pants, and there's nothing there. It's just smooth. And stunned, the bartender goes, "How do you pee?" And the leprechaun goes, "Like this." Blah! Yeah, I thought it was funny. Oh. So where is everybody from tonight? We got a San Bernardinan. Do we have any other Los Angelinos? Perhaps a Singaporean? Cheetos Bird, Philippines, here. Were you born in the Philippines or are you a transplant? You know, my stepmother was a Filipino. She's long dead now, but yes, she was a Filipino. She was also a lesbian prostitute. I had a very interesting childhood. You know, a lot of wonderful culture in the Philippines, but you know, every culture has its light and dark spots. Is it the Philippines that has the orang pendek? I forget. I have never been terribly up on Filipino cryptids, but you know, that's one thing about that part of the world. They seem to have a lot more lore. You know, it's one of those things. My next door neighbor used to have this Chinese garden, you know, and it had this little shrine. And I don't know why they took the shrine out. The trees, I think, are still there, but I haven't really looked too closely lately. Then I always have to ask myself, what's with the shrine? Because originally I thought it was a cricket house. Crickets are supposed to be lucky. Okay, 12 of you in the chat. Nobody's really talking. Guess you all love to hear me talk. Cheeto Bird. It's very modern where I live, like living in LA, for example. Mega city, just way cheaper than there. I can get a Big Mac, large fry, and a large Coke delivered to my door for $5. Yeah, you could pick that up at the store for like $13 here. Although my understanding of the Philippines is that there are a lot of laws dictating what you are and are not allowed to do labor wise. I know, that's why I live here now. Yeah. Yeah. I used to know a guy named Manuel who was from the Philippines, and he said he wanted to assassinate the Filipino president. And he told me this joke from his village. He said that, you know, where he lived when you were, I think, 14 or something, or maybe it was 18, I don't remember. It was a long time ago. He told me that, you know, the tradition was that your father would give you money to go to a prostitute, you know, pop your cherry there. So, you know, this young kid is you know, he's just come of age. His family sings happy birthday to him, and his dad gives him $50 and sends him on his way. And he's walking down the street, you know, thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get laid." And his grandmother stops him and says, "Hey, hey, happy birthday." And he goes, "Hi, Grandma. Yes, thank you." And the grandma's like, "Did your dad give you money for a prostitute?" And And the kid goes, yeah, he gave me $50. And the grandma goes, $50? That's way too much. Give me the money and I'll take care of you. And he's like, what? And grandma's like, trust me, I'll take care of you. So he gives his grandma the $50. They go back to her place and they get it on. And he walks out of there. He's just confused, but he's happy, as you do. And he walks on home. And the dad says, wow, that was quick. Did you do the deed? And the son goes, yeah, grandma. I ran into grandma, and she said give her the money, and she'd take care of me, and she did. And so the dad goes, you banged my mom? And the son goes, yeah, what's the big deal? You banged my mom. Yeah, Manuel thought that was a lot more funny than I did, but then let's just say that I didn't have a good relationship with my stepmother. I mean, no one does. I tell you, my stepmother, she dressed very provocatively. You see, she was a prostitute in Nigeria at one point. So she was used to letting it all hang out. And I mean, it hanged low. Like you've heard of somebody dropping a pencil in someone's crack. Well, I mean, you could drop an entire stationery store between them things. And you know, she would dress so raunchy. You'd be like, go away. I don't want to see that. Yeah, she was not a young woman when she did that. But you know what they say? Old chickens make the best stew. I really should get like a better webcam so I could do this on two channels at once. Yikes, sorry to hear about your stepmother. That must have been traumatizing as a child. You know, Cheetos, a lot of things traumatized me as a child. In fact, I spoke to a psychiatrist or psychologist once. A psychiatrist gives you medication and a psychologist talks to you. And I talked to a psychologist once, and Chippy D, hey cutie. Huh? Who are you talking to? You talking to Alexander here? What's up? What's up, Alexander? Anyway, so I was talking to a psychologist once, and I told him basically the story of my life from the age of 10 to the age of 18. And he looks at me and he says, wow, I am surprised you are this functional given what you've been through. And I mean, on the one hand, I've known people that have seen a lot worse things than me. But now that I think of it, they're all people that subscribe to the goth lifestyle and, are all kind of whacked. I didn't go to boarding schools. Preppy girls never looked at me. Why would they? I ain't nobody got nothing in my pockets. Beverly Hills. I don't want a copyright strike. What is with my mouse today? What's your favorite comedy of all time? Um, Little Shop of Horrors. I would say Eight-Legged Freaks, but the cat gets it in Eight-Legged Freaks, and I don't care for that. Although Eight-Legged Freaks is a close second. Chippy D, do I know you? The hardest I've laughed at a film is Pink Flamingos, but for more straightforward comedy, I'd have to go between Borat, Election, or Blazing Saddles. Well, I mean, I'm also partial to Spaceballs, which is a little more up my alley. But you have to remember, I have seen Little Shop of Horrors, the original theatrical release, at least 100 times. Can't go wrong with a Mel Brooks, honestly. Did you see the cartoon for Spaceballs? Because it wasn't all that right. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a great one. Spaceballs is a classic. Yes, Cheetos Bird. Okay, you people play nice. Nimbus! Toby, is that you? Why are you bothering Nimbus? No, I've never seen the animated Spaceballs. Did he oversee that too? I believe he did. I mean, he reprised his role of Yogurt. Um, I don't know if it had more than one season, but the animated Spaceballs, well, it just wasn't the same quality, which is probably why you've never seen it. And Mustafa Fleeth is showing me her tail end. You don't need to show me that. I've seen it, Mustafa Fleeth. Mustafa Fleeth. Yes. Yes. Yes, you are Mustafa Fleeth. Hair is looking crispy tonight, Twinkle Toes. See, I'm wondering if I should know who Chippy D is. I have work in the morning, so I'm probably not going to go too long. I'm shooting for an hour here. We know each other all too well. Okay, Chippy, where do I know you from? I mean, let's be clear here. Chippy, are you, a hot dog or a bun? Here they come on the run for a burger on a bun. Yeah, I mean, for those of you who don't know me, I believe the largest hall I played to, I believe was 2,500 seats. Although I do not know the size of the largest audience I've performed to, which would probably be my high school graduation, which was many, many, many years ago. And I sang bass, so yes, I am a trained vocalist. Not a very good one, I mind you, but I am a trained vocal. I haven't sung professionally in some time, but there used to be Richard Neal in concert. Whoa! Some people have jumped in the chat. Can you teach us how to sing? No, you cannot teach someone how to sing. You kind of have to have music in your soul. Soul Music, by the way, excellent novel. If any of you really want to laugh, Terry Pratchett's Soul Music is a very interesting read. You kind of have to have your finger on the 1980s zeitgeist because there are a lot of references to that. Don't call me Buttercup. Do you know what a buttercup is? It's a poisonous flower. Gives horses diarrhea. They're named Buttercup from the color. So, has anybody else seen Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare? Because I saw it. I mean, I saw it. Uh, it's a very interesting movie. I mean, I really wanted to get Larry Chili Boy to watch that movie because it's right up his alley. Although, whereas he's very eclectic in his movie tastes, I would not say he's a horror aficionado. And my screen went out. Oh, I need to tear this whole thing apart, put it back together again. Okay, so I got a strange message from my boss here. Eh, yeah. He just giving me a schedule for the next 2 weeks. I mean, literally, I left the office. Um, I left the office, and within an hour, I was informed that I was his employee, as I was just there for an interview. And, you know, before arriving home, and there were two accidents on the freeway, so it took me more than an hour to get home. He asked me if I could come in to cover in the morning. I'm normally a nighttime kind of a person, but I mean, that's the world we live in. So tell me, Chippy, did you used to be a cop or any other member of the village people? Not exactly sure what I should be doing on live stream. That obviously wasn't it. This is another one of my photographs. I entitled it St. Elmo's Fire, which, if you don't know, St. Elmo's Fire is another word for ball lightning. And this is a close-up of condensation with a false color. See the water droplet right here. I have a profound love of art. Not that I'm like, someone who follows art. I simply love to make art. I mean, this is just leaves on the ground. And I went in there and I changed the hue of the leaves in order to make them more interesting. So I made them purple. And I'm pretty sure I got some more leaves around here somewhere. Yep. Okay. So I changed this to make them green leaves, and you have to ask yourself now. They're green leaves, but they're on the ground. So what does that say? And then, I this is a more closer to what the original is red leaves. Amazon found something I might like. An ammo can stove. A cowbell. And Life 3.0. For those of you that don't know, I do have an Amazon wish list, and I do believe that you can access it through my channel page. So if any of you want to buy me some cat food, Mustafa Fleas will certainly appreciate it. Let me just make sure that's there. Oh yeah, the Amazon link is there. You also have a link to my blog, Richard Reviews Everything, Richard's Daily Quote, Letters to Cassie, photographs of a Mad Richard, my YouTube channel, Richard Leland Neal, and Richard's Word of the Day. So, plenty of things. Plenty of things for you guys to go and see about. Is anybody still out there? I'm seeing 7 people, but I mean, I'm trying to hit up an hour. We're almost at 45 minutes. But if you guys are tired, I mean, I got things to do. So many things to do. I have another job application. Surprised they sent me all this paperwork. It's a new company trying to branch out into California. And they called me from Texas. I don't know what they're going to do with uniforms. Cheeto still here. A lot of people listen in the background while they work and whatnot. Yeah, Cheetos Bird. The thing about this is this channel is really small for live streaming. And you'd say, well, it's got more than 6,000 subscribers. It shouldn't be all that small, but I have a very unengaged audience, so to speak. So, I mean, what happened was I was on my other channel, Richard Leland Neal, and somebody said, why are you not live streaming on Random Street Theater? Because Random Street Theater is the channel where you can get super chats. So people can, give me money. And it's like, well, I was doing the live stream in order to get the watch hours I need to monetize Richard Leland Neal. And that's a channel where I do more discussion. I talk about life and current events and, what's going on with my animals and just those sorts of things. So as I'm trying to um, just get things done, I'm working through what I should be doing in this world. This is just, it's kind of an experiment, but when you have so few subscribers as I do, and I'm not getting the kind of movement that I should, it's like, yeah, I'm just sitting here talking to myself and hoping you guys want to watch. And I mean, I get it. That's cool. You're doing something else. That's fine. But, I've got to, once I'm done with this, I got to get back to my boss, tell him that I approve the schedule for the next 2 weeks. But I mean, this is a real shaky kind of a job because I don't know what's going on with it. Such a busy beaver. Well, I mean, such a busy beaver doesn't have time to shave. There's another question for you all. Have you had the traditional dinner of beaver ever on Valentine's Day? I can honestly say never on Valentine's Day. Never kissed anyone on New Year's either. For all the weird things I do, my life seems boring at times. And the Cowboys hired a new head coach. Chippy, one, we cannot kiss through the phone. Two, I still don't know if you're a hot dog or a bun. So, I mean, not really feeling it at the moment. Yeah. I don't know if this whole live stream thing is even right for this channel. Seems like you guys just really aren't feeling it. Don't think what's right, Chippy, but we're right. But you could be right if you held yourself up to the light. Tonight's so bright. Tonight. Can anybody tell me what band that was? No? I am so old. I feel my age. That was definitely not Metallica. Come to think of it, I don't even think I know any Metallica songs. I mean, I am familiar with their famous album cover, I think. I think my brother was a big fan of Megadeth, but I mean, I'm more hard rock than metal. Cheetos Bird chat engagement rates are around 2 to 4% of the total viewers. High end is 7 to 8. Well, I mean, that's one of the reasons why this channel is kind of small for chatting, isn't it? You know? I mean, on Richard Leland Neal, I have just under 1,000 subscribers at this point, and rising. You know, I mean, it's getting there. And you know, much as I enjoy chatting with people, I decided to try chatting on this channel just to see what happens. This is my second attempt, and yeah, I mean, this just could be a bad time. Chippy D, I agree. What do you agree with? Paperwork to do. Oh, you know, I mean, the worst part about it is they're sticking me with a day shift. I hate day shift. Day shift means a lot of traffic. And not only is it a lot of traffic, it's out there and about what you said. I said a lot of things, Chippy. Right, Mustafa Fleas? Well, there's none so clever as the famous Mr. Mustafa Fleas. Isn't that right, Mustafa Fleas? Yes, you're purring. I like it when you purr. You know what I don't like, though? When you poop in my bathroom. That's why I gave you litter box. Disagree about the last part, though. You disagree with it being a bad thing when my cat poops in the bathroom. Well, she just poop on the floor. I mean, you know, it's not like she uses the toilet, which would be awesome. I mean, I'd love that to be a thing, but Mustafa Fleas is just not really a toilet pooper. Oh, Asylum is playing Mega Piranha and 17 people are watching. They're also playing Atlantic Rim and 9 people are watching. Those are some very sad 9 people. I mean, Pacific Rim was a cool movie. Atlantic Rim, well, that was just terrible. Okay, so we've got about 5 minutes left here. If the chat's gonna be this slow, we're gonna cut it off at an hour. I mean, you know, not a lot of reason for me to keep going after that. 'Cause you know you could be right if you held yourself up to the light. Tonight, tonight, so bright. Tonight, crucified beyond our stock advice. Tonight. Oh, this is such a disappointing chat. So, does anybody have an opinion they'd like to share on Donald Trump? Yes, it's been kind of a sad stream. Oh, look. It looks like Donald Trump will be withholding disaster aid from the state of California. Well, isn't that nice? You know, under Donald Trump, my people started adding armed guards to our temples. So, not a big fan of the man. Under Joe Biden, there were actually angry mobs patrolling our neighborhoods looking to draw the blood of my people. You know, this atmosphere of hatred that is overcoming America is absolutely disgusting. And, you know, it's like a Hamas spokesman came out and he said that Israel will lose because the Jews believe in life, whereas his people believed it was a privilege to die for God. And that's really telling when, a Gentile says of a Jew that their love of life and their belief in life is a bad thing. I mean, yeah, okay. We were put on this world to live, were we not? We were put on this world to live and love and breathe and do all those things. And as a member of my people, I have made it a point to try to remove pain from the world and inspire joy. It's something I do. I seem to be a rather miserable person, but I've never known. Well, I mean, I think maybe once in my life I've actually known joy. Joy is not a thing I have much acquaintance with. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of the hour, and it looks like you folks have pretty much toddled off. So, I mean, thank you for those of you who are still watching. But I do believe it is time for me to go. I do have things to do, so y'all stay safe. Remember, the fires are around me. Let's hope they don't burn me down. You have yourself a good night too, Cheetos Bird.